All right, today we're going to break down a really fascinating spiritual practice called the soul kernel. And what makes it so interesting is where it came from. This wasn't developed in some peaceful retreat. It was born in a hospital room. It's a really powerful technique for connecting with yourself, and we're going to walk through it step by step. So let's get into it.
A portal for the soul to come to the body. I mean, just think about that for a second. That's a pretty bold statement, right? This isn't just about calming your mind or relaxing. It's about fully, deeply inhabiting your own body. That's the core idea, the whole promise of the soul kernel practice.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start with its really surprising origin story. Then we'll unpack the 4 key elements that make it work. After that, I'll show you exactly how to put all the pieces together. We'll talk about the main goal of the practice, and then we'll wrap up with a simple 1-week challenge so you can try it out for yourself.
First up, let's talk about where this whole thing came from, because trust me, the backstory is not what you'd expect.
So get this. The soul kernel wasn't created in a monastery in the Himalayas or during some silent retreat in the desert. Nope. It was actually conceived while its creator, Christopher McClure, was in the hospital for 11 days with COVID complications. In that context, being born from a place of real physical adversity just makes its focus on connecting with your own inner core that much more potent.
Okay, so now that we know where it came from, let's look at how it's actually built. What are the moving parts? You can think of these next 4 elements as the architectural blueprint for the whole practice.
And that's the beauty of it. It's not some massively complicated system with dozens of rules. It's just 4. The entire practice is built, very elegantly, on these 4 core ideas. If you can get a handle on these 4, you've pretty much mastered the whole thing.
So here they are. You've got your anchor, your engine, your framework, and your vibration. The dantian is what grounds you. The pulsation is what drives the whole thing forward. The yantra gives you the map, and the mantra creates the internal resonance. Let's break down each one.
Okay, first up, the dantian. This is your anchor point. Just imagine a spot deep inside your body, about 3 fingers width below your navel, and then 3 fingers width in. That point deep in your core, that's the dantian. It's your center of gravity, and it's where everything in this practice begins and ends.
Next, every practice needs an engine, right? A rhythm. And for this, you use your own body's pulsation, your pulse. You can probably feel it right now, that quiet, steady beat just below your sternum. That's the engine. That pulse is what's going to drive the entire meditation.
And here's our framework, the yantra. It's a 6-pointed star. But, and this is key, it's not just a symbol you stare at. Think of it more like a visual map or a circuit board for your attention. You're actually going to be moving your focus along its path from one point to the next.
And while you're traveling along that path, you're going to use a mantra. But before I tell you what the mantra is, I want you to just sit with this idea for a second. The whole universe is found in the center of your being. This concept is the whole reason why you use the mantra. It's a reminder that what you're looking for isn't out there, it's right inside you.
Okay, so the mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum. But here's the thing, you don't say it out loud, it's a silent internal chant. And here's where it gets really elegant. The mantra has 6 syllables. And how many points does our path on the star have? 6. Each syllable perfectly matches one movement of your attention. It creates this amazing harmony between sound and motion.
All right, we have our anchor, we have our engine, we've got our framework, and we've got our vibration. We have all the pieces on the table. So now for the fun part, let's actually put them all together.
The whole cycle has 12 beats, but let's take it in 2 halves. The first 6 beats are what's called the evolutionary path. You're moving outward. So with each pulse you feel, you move your attention. You start at the bottom of the upward triangle, then one pulse you move to the right, next pulse to the left. Then you jump over to the downward triangle, left, then right, then down to the base. That's the first 6 beats.
Now for the second half, the involutionary return. And this is super easy because you're just retracing your steps. You're heading back home. So from the bottom of that downward triangle, you move right, then left. Then you jump back to the upward triangle, left, right. And you're back where you started, at the base. And that's it. That's one full 12-beat cycle.
So, let's put it all together. Here's the complete flow. First, you anchor your attention in the dantian. Second, you feel for your pulse. Just wait for it patiently. Third, once you have that rhythm, you move your attention to the next point on the star with each beat. And finally, you silently chant one syllable of the mantra with each move. It all works together. It's a beautiful, synchronized flow.
So we've spent a lot of time on the how you do it, what the steps are, but now let's talk about the why. Why would you do this? What's the point of it all? Well, the ultimate goal, the whole purpose, comes down to one powerful word: coherence. So what is coherence? It's really all about alignment. The best analogy is tuning a guitar. When every string is tuned just right, you don't get 6 different sounds, you get one beautiful resonant chord. That's what this practice aims to do for you, to bring all the different parts of yourself into perfect, harmonious alignment.
Okay, I know coherence can sound a little abstract, so what does that actually look like in your real life? Well, it might feel like you're living with more purpose, more intention. You might start to notice that the things you want to create in your life just happen more easily, more naturally. Really, it's about fully showing up as yourself, embodying your own soul.
So we've walked through all the theory, but a practice isn't something you just think about, right? It's something you do. So to finish up, we're going to leave you with a simple challenge, straight from the creator of the Soul Kernel himself.
And the challenge is incredibly simple. Just 10 minutes a day. That's it. Do this for 1 week straight. And as you do it, maybe keep a little journal. The key is not to look for some big, earth-shattering change. Just observe. Just notice what you notice. You might honestly be surprised by what you find.
So, I guess that's the only question left, isn't it? What could 10 minutes a day of this practice do for you? Could it bring a little more of that coherence, a bit more of that alignment and intention into your life? Well, there's really only one way to find out.